And okay, let's talk about this Lana Del Rey situation. I had basically saved the tweet. But basically, Father, you sent it. Can you explain it better? You probably explained it better than me.
All right. So Lana Del Rey posted a rant on IG, and she was basically talking about the double standard of how when she talks about her subject matter in her music, people call it glorifying abuse. Yet when Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Kaylani, Camila Cabello, um, who else? Beyonce, when they make music promoting their sexual, tendencies, or like their sex appeal, fucking and shit like that, they get praised and shit like that. And a lot of people took offense because of two things. Number one, they was talking about how she was singling out black women. And number two, there was also bringing up the fact that all of those people that she named was slandered in one way or another. Now, this is what's very interesting to me about this whole thing. They said that, oh, she's throwing black women under the bus when there were seven women she named, and three of the seven were black women. The rest were women of color. It was Ariana, Kaylani, Camila Cabello, and Cardi B. And the only reason I'm putting Cardi B in the people of color section is because niggas still always on that debate whether Cardi B is a black woman or not. But anyway, so she said that, and while I understood where she came from, I understood her point, and I actually commend her for being specific about the point, because I'm pretty sure if she generalized, they would have dragged her anyway. So I think that she got her point across, me personally. And a lot of people was like, nah, man, she really needs to chill out with that. Oh, she's fucking what's it called? Like, she's fucking proving that the feminist woman is nothing but for white women and shit like that. And I'm like, well, she didn't prove anything, because that should have been a thing since the beginning. Feminism has never, ever, ever, ever benefited black women. I would like, if you even ask how has feminism benefited black women, I'm pretty sure you couldn't find three benefits to black women when it comes to feminism. As a matter of fact, feminism was very instrumental in destroying the black family. Just look at Margaret Sanger and her philosophies and shit like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. Lana Del Rey, now obviously she's very successful. She's a very successful artist. And I feel like the reason why she lashed out the way she did is because a part of her is really not feeling the fact that people are slandering her when there's some Negroes that you need to slander. Or, when, like, you know how it is. They can dish the heat, but they can't take it. I feel like this is one of those cases. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Lana Del Rey, like, you've been making your kind of music, and people fuck with it. Obviously, a lot of people fuck with it. Obviously, you're very successful. But when the media says something about it, you take that shit to heart. Black artists don't really get to have that kind of, reaction, because if they do, then they're ungrateful, they spoiled and shit. Doja Cat got slandered before. Nicki Minaj is in the news almost every fucking week. And Beyonce is Beyonce. So no matter what she do, she's gonna be forgiven for whatever. Beyonce can say the F word and the gay community would love her even more. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, like, I feel like Lana Del Rey just needs to charge it up to the game. Hey, they're gonna talk shit about you, but you know what? It's like you said, Ray. You fuck with the people that fuck with you. But in this case, since Lana Del Rey is a white woman, she not used to having all that type of smoke, and she lashed out as a result.
I wanted to read that Instagram post, but that thing is too fucking long. And even then, like, I have to squint to like read that shit. I want to say this. I've been like, and even though this is about the women, first things first, you went after the four biggest female fan bases that actually not maybe top five. I don't know where Doja Cat fans. I know there's people that fuck with her heavy, but I don't know. It's like the Beehive. You don't fuck with the Beehive. You know, what is Megan Stallion fans? What they call them?
Hot girls, hot
Hot
boys.
girls. You got the hot girls. You going at the Beehive, hot girls, Barb's, and whatever the fucking fan base Doja Cat has. You really, really trying to get some attention. That's the first thing I realized. I said, damn, you're trying to fucking form like goddamn Power Rangers and shit. They'll all line up and try to drag you and shit. That's just, especially Beehive alone. Beehive is, you don't really, everybody knows you don't touch the Beehive. They're, them, they like everywhere. Like, even in the highest parts of the job, you get your shit fucked over, you get the Beehive. But usually I say this about hip hop, like, where to me this is nothing new because like if you're in the hip hop community, a lot of OGs say this. It's like we don't like the mumble rappers. They don't really talk about nothing. Just like where the OGs was like where I come from. You talking about taking drugs, being a drug user, being a hoe, and all that other stuff. That shit was shamed upon. Now y'all do it with pride. This ain't nothing different from what hip hop is doing. So it's just like where where are you listening to? And like someone said, a lot of these women, even though they talk about songs about sex, they also got and this is not me not excluding. I don't know much of Doja Cat song. I heard her recent joint, but I was going to do a review on that, but that's on it. But I know the other three, they have songs where they're like they have talked about serious topics, and they've talked about abuse, and they've talked about stuff that make you cry. Like they've gone through that too. Why are you just focusing on the pop radio hits? Because that's mostly what you're hearing, pop radio hits. And I'm not gonna lie, Lana Del Rey, I know you probably sell a lot. I do not know a single song that you have, but I'm pretty sure you have a song where it's just as poppy as Doja Cat Say So or Megan Thee Stallion Savage or Who Run the World Girls is Beyonce. I'm pretty sure you got songs like that too. People gonna listen to what people gonna listen to. Like there's literal times where like I would want to listen to some conscious shit, and some girls are sitting there like, turn off that bullshit, and then they'll put on some ratchet ass shit. People just go and listen to what they want to. So I don't think I'm not saying it's like you're jealous of them for, because obviously you have a fan base and you sell a lot, but some people just sometimes, in the words of the black community, we ain't trying to hear that shit, Tariq. And, sometimes I don't want to hear about how someone abused me. Maybe sometimes I want to hear about, how much of a savage I am, or, how much, the pussy's on fleek, like as Nicki Minaj was saying. I feel weird saying that. But it's just, I'll say it once, and Father done said it, and I'll say it again. Just fuck with people that fuck with you. All right? You got your fan base. Just focus on your fan base and what they want to hear. But lashing out against probably like 4 of the top 5 fan bases in female artists, I don't think going after them is really good. And Azealia Banks, Lord Jesus, that girl, I think she was the first one to talk about the colorist thing, and then she called Ariana Grande black.
Oh my god!
She was like, "Oh, they put Ariana Grande on it." She was like, "Ariana Grande is black." And one thing I do realize that Lana Del Rey and Azealia Banks do not like each other. So I figured like Azealia Banks just had, I guess she had time today, and people saying she dragged her and all that shit. Let's see some of the comments. Here's one of the comments. She was like, "Women have been speaking on being imperfect relationships / situations. Beyonce Lemonade album is this. Nicki's parent. You didn't open any doors." Because she was one of the people that was talking about emotional abuse. I was like, bruh, you ever heard of Ella Fitzgerald? I was like, you ever heard of the blues? I was like, women been talking about their pain for years. Sade? God damn. These new artists, I swear to God. But she was like, you didn't open any doors. You simply joined the choir and convinced yourself you was the choir master. Typical. And then she said, Azealia Banks said, I hope none of you are surprised. At the end of the day, white feminists will be white feminists. And then it was just then she goes, first it was Billie Eilish giving an unwanted critic on rap music that no one asked for. Now Lana claims she invented a whole new dimension of womanhood that has always existed. I'm sure another girl is about to lose her damn mind and say something to watch. For what it's worth, I can emphasize that she felt targeted for years and she felt the need to speak out, but she could have gone a lot better because this wasn't it at all. Like this is one of the few times that I'm gonna agree with kind of Azalea Banks. And but let the girls have, especially if this is four black women in the top two. Let them have the moment.
Exactly. Damn.
So so any last words on this before we move on to our next
Yeah,
topic?
yeah, this just proves that black women cannot be stopped right now. I feel black people have been taking over the quarantine, bro. With quarantine radio with Tory Lanez, you got the Versus series that's bringing black people back into fucking rotation, heavy when it comes to streams and music and shit. You got people just releasing fucking fire ass content left and right.